up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down the 3 best routes you guys can run against off-man coverage, okay? So the first route we're going to be talking about here is from Cooper Kupp, and we're going to be talking about a triple rocker step speed out, okay? So this is a great route to use against a disciplined DB who's expecting a rocker step and just wants to sit where your rocker step goes. So a lot of the times DBs are smart, right? So what is a rocker step? A rocker step is at the top of the route, like if you're running an out route. Normally what you would do is you want to step to the side that you are going first, so you'd be stepping with your left foot first, and you go left then right. Instead of just breaking off of your right foot and just running the out, you would do a little double cut at the top. Now, a triple rocker step is where you would take one more step. So at the top of the break, you'd go right, left, right. Some people call it a tic-tac-toe break, but you would break off of the right foot and then burst back to the out. So you're just adding a step. So let's watch this thing full speed from Cooper Kupp. Now, he does a great job of getting separation and making this route look like what? We're trying to make it look like a rocker step post route. So anytime that you're in off-man coverage, whether he's head up or maybe he's outside shade, and you have to run this speed out. What you don't want to do is you don't want to just attack his leverage, because if you just attack his leverage, he's just going to widen with you and he's going to be all over the out route. I want to threaten him to the inside shoulder. I want to make him think that I'm running a post, running a dig, running any kind of inside breaking route, so he will commit to the inside route, and that opens up space for me. Pretty simple concept. Now, like I said, a disciplined DB might be expecting a rocker step, right? So like maybe a couple times in the game I've ran a few posts and I use this rocker step. So I go step with the right foot, then I step with the left foot. Now that DB's sitting on it. Maybe he's studied film and he thinks, okay, anytime I see him make a cut, every single cut that he does, he adds a rocker step to it. I'm just going to sit to the side that he steps first. So that's when we add that triple step. That's when we add that 3-step break to the top of this thing to keep that DB on his toes. You see how Cooper Kupp goes here, steps with the first foot, steps with the second foot. DB's expecting him to just do a rocker step and run that post. Maybe he's seen it before. And then bam, I catch myself with the third step. I sell with my hips, sell with my shoulders. That's what's going to get a DB to jump, because anytime we're an off man, that DB should be watching my hips and trying to read my body language. So if you guys can sell with that body language on that 3-step rocker, that can get him to jump to the inside, and then we could create space. So first route that you guys can run, one of my favorite routes to run against off-man coverage is a triple rocker step 10-yard out when that DB is either head up or outside shade. Let's watch the thing again full speed before we get into that second route. Great job hitting him with that 3-step break and then being able to create separation to the sideline. So now next route we're going to be talking about is a great route that you can run against inside shade when you have an inside breaking route. But before we get into that, fellas, I want to talk to you about a great opportunity we are offering this offseason. We are traveling out to 9 different cities across the United States for 2-day-long quarterback and wide receiver training camps. So we're going to be coming out to Phoenix, Arizona this weekend. Then we're going to be traveling out to Houston, Texas, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Columbus, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and Los Angeles, California. So if you guys want to come out and get some great work in with us for 2 whole days, every single camp is going to be a 2-day camp, 4 hours each day with wide receiver versus DB one-on-ones dedicated to each day at the end with half-line passing concepts, 7-on-7 passing concepts, and then 3 hours of individual positional work throughout the course of 2 days. Check out that very first link below, fellas. You don't have to be local to one of these states, one of these cities. You guys can travel out. We love to have anybody to show up. But like I said, spots are limited to 10 to 12 guys per position. The reason why we're doing that is so we can actually coach you guys. We want you guys to get hands-on coaching and actually be able to improve your game at this camp, not just have you run through a bunch of drills like so many other camps do. So many camps do it incorrectly. They don't actually teach people anything. It's just a money grab for them. They have as many kids out there as they can, and it's not good quality work. This is quality work. If you want to improve your game, this is what you need to be doing. This is training. This is not an exposure camp. This is not a college camp. This is training. This is what's going to help your skills improve so we can ball out on Friday nights, Saturdays, and whatever day you play on of the week. Okay, so if that's something that interests you, check out that very first link below, fellas. We'd absolutely love to have you out to one of our off-season training camps. Spots are limited. Let's get back to this video. So now we're going to be talking about a rocker step dig route versus inside shade off-man coverage. Okay, so now everybody thinks that, oh, okay, if I got inside shade coverage and I have to run an inside route like a dig, I just got to square him up and I got to attack his leverage, right? We've talked about this probably with this clip before, but why does he decide to use a rocker step? So let's play it full speed. So he just attacks the outside shoulder, right? Attacks the outside shoulder, gives him a little bit of a 1-2, and again, there's a tempo change to it as well. So I forgot to add that. It's a tempo change dig route with a rocker step at the top of the break. So why does he change tempo? So they change his tempo to get this DB to commit to the route, right? So he uses a rocker step like this DB, like if you have to run a 10-yard in, and this DB is an off-man coverage at 10 yards, or 8 to 10 yards, let's call it that. I'm probably not going to be able to just attack his outside shoulder, get him to flip those hips, and then be able to slip under. Because if he's at 10 yards, he's going to try to stay disciplined at 10 and not have to open up with me until I start to run past him and get to a certain depth, right? So if I got to break that thing right at 10, I have to break it there. That's what so many receivers don't understand. They don't understand that the depth of the play and where they make their breaks, that matters. A lot of people think that, oh, I'm just going to go and run vertical until he flips, then run the route. Can't do that, guys. In a real game situation, the spacing of the play matters, the timing of the play matters, and if you're off by your yardage, that's not going to work, right? So what does he decide to do? He comes at him here, he gives this little bit of a tempo skip to slow that DB's speed down, and then he uses this rocker step at the top of the break to sell like he's running what? A 10-yard out route, because how would you run a 10-yard out route against inside shade off man? You would attack his leverage, maybe kind of square him up a bit. You could change tempo if you wanted, then you would break out to the out route. So that's what we want to sell. So if he's sitting right at my depth, I want to sell the out route by using this rocker step. So this isn't a triple rocker step. This is just a regular one where we go 1, 2. We take 2 hard steps. You see how his hips and his shoulders are both selling because that's what that DB is supposed to be watching, an off man, and we get him to jump. I can slip back underneath and work that dig route. That is a perfect example of what to do here from Thayer Thomas. Again, stutter, hesitation into a rocker step dig route versus inside shade off man covers. It's the second best route you guys can run against off man. So watch it again full speed. Great job with the stutter. Great job with the 1, 2, and then being able to create separation over the middle. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about a tempo change speed out route. Okay, so we covered an out, we covered a dig, but the out route was against outside shade. So now it's how do I run this out route versus an inside shade guy? And we kind of just covered this in the last clip that we talked about with Thomas there, but this is going to be another unique way of using it. It's a more creative way to run this out route rather than, because again, if he's inside shade, like what are you supposed to do if you have an outside breaking route like an out route? You're supposed to attack his leverage, attack his midline, try to get him to widen with you, and then use all the space you created from your stem. But we could also add a little something extra to it. We could try to get his feet to stop. We could try to hesitate and sell an inside breaking move because he's inside shade to prevent what? To prevent you from crossing his face. So he's going to be over anxious to protect it. He's going to want to protect the inside because his sole responsibility is to not get beat inside. So let's watch it full speed. So he comes off a little hesitation, gives him a crossover, gets up to the depth, and then makes this catch down to the sideline. So let's talk about it. So we come off the line and that little hesitation, that tempo change makes the DB think what? He makes him think you're either going to do like a little stutter, cross him up and cross his face, or maybe you're going to do this little tempo change and go try to dust him on a fade. But he's on the defensive, and when I change my tempo, the DB changes his tempo. Right? I'm not going to change my tempo and that DB is going to backpedal fast. If so, I would change my tempo on every play and just turn around as soon as I did it, right? So he's going to try to match my tempo. So this receiver does a great job changing tempo, giving a crossover to the inside, selling like he went hesitation 1, 2, like Davante Adams style, where you attack the guy, give him a quick 1, 2, and then go run the slant. And that's what gets that DB to freeze. That's what gets that DB to sit there and lock his feet out because when we change tempo, that puts him on the defensive. So a tempo change out route is a great way to get separation, especially if that DB's maybe not like way off and off coverage, like 8 to 10 yards, and he's maybe like 5 or 6 yards off. You could attack him, give him a little tempo, give him a shake, then we're bursting upfield. But the tempo will get him to stop his feet. And when I can come off the line, what I call this 100, we burst off, then we're back to 0, and then we're back to 100. So if you could go 100, 0, 100, that's going to force a reaction out of that DB, and that's going to force that DB to have to stop his feet. And we will automatically have an advantage on that because we know where we're breaking. The DB does not know where we're breaking, okay? Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job. So third best route you can run is that tempo change, 10-yard speed out against off-man coverage. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave that in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. And if you guys have any kind of video suggestions, any kind of content that you would like to see next, we always appreciate the feedback. And again, fellas, if you're local to one of the 9 cities that we were traveling out to for quarterback and wide receiver training camps, check out that very first link in the description below. We would love to have you out when we come out to Phoenix, Houston, Newark, Atlanta, Columbus, Chicago, Dallas, Nashville, and Los Angeles. Very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.